We've never had a second term president like this. For one, he had 4 years off to think about it and plan. For two, he's rested, much more rested, and the staff's more rested because they're not slogging into year five. They're slogging into year one prime. And he's not being investigated for stealing the election. Everybody's acknowledging he won. I want to talk about this notion of two things that are different about him. One is he is kind of being get a chance to kind of reintroduce himself, right? Because it is a different presidency. And the other is he's not under the strain of being investigated or not having won the popular vote. So the concept is Trump happy warrior. Play the other Hannity bite, please.
Let's talk about the moment you walked back in this office, this desk, this room, your carpet. How'd you feel?
Well, it was a lot of work. And as you know, I felt that we shouldn't have had to necessarily be here. Could have been done. A lot of work could have been, it would have been over. We wouldn't have inflation. We wouldn't have had the Afghanistan disaster. We wouldn't have October 7th with Israel, where so many people were killed. And you wouldn't have a Ukraine war going on. But with all that being said, I think it's bigger. It's bigger than if it were more traditional.
Only the second time in history
Yeah.
somebody didn't have consecutive terms.
Yeah. Well, they say it's historically bigger. I don't know about that. But I can say it showed us a couple of things. It showed us that the radical left, their philosophies and policies are horrible.
All right. So he was shot and he is older and he did leave and come back, but Mercedes, you know him well. Do you see difference in him? Do you see him as kind of more serene and happy, or do you just see the same guy?
No, I feel like he has really changed in a lot of ways. I remember when I saw him, it was probably in October. We were we were hosting an event, and he was there. And just how he approached me and talked to me was so different. And I do think that after that assassination attempt, there was just this sense, this wake up call for him of saying, goodness gracious, God, and he says it like, I was saved by God to be able to do this job right now. So I think he really is taking it all in. I think there is a definite sense of calmness. It's gone from kind of like the angry Trump and yes, the feeling that it's everyone against him and, taking him down to the fact of saying, I've got this great purpose that I have to accomplish. And I think that it's something much bigger than him and he recognizes it. It's really interesting because when Matt and I had met with him one time earlier during this year, and he himself was concerned of trying to figure out how are we going to turn these things around? All these decisions made by Biden, would it be too late to turn these things around in our country and in the world? And he knew he wouldn't. He goes, I don't have enough time to get it all done in 4 years. So he himself recognizes this, that he's got to move quickly. He's got to move decisively to make these fundamental changes in hopes that we can end the war between Ukraine and Russia, that we can stabilize the Middle East, that we can ensure that we get a handle on our immigration system, that we can ensure we can bring prices down for the American family. So I feel like there's a sense of urgency in him, but in addition to that, with a sense of calmness and focus to get it done and get it done fast.
I couldn't agree more, and you said it better than I could have.